Hello everybody and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to a very special monthly series that we're going to be doing here on Roll Together RPG. My name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns. However, I'm not actually in this game. This game is titled Family Traditions and it is using the Call of Cthulhu system. Our players for this game are Talia, who is stepping into the role of the Law Keeper. We also have Tom, who is going to be playing the character of Montague, Nat, who is playing Gracie, Evey, who's playing Celia, and then Shaun, who is playing Adam. Before we get into tonight's session, we have a couple of sponsors and supporters that we'd like to thank. Our sponsor for tonight is Phoenix Dice. You can go to phoenixdice.com to get yourself some clickety-clack math rocks, including some limited edition rolled together dice. If you use the code on their website, roll together, all caps at checkout, you can get 25% off of your purchase. We're also proud to be supported by Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude are a father and son TTRPG group company that make various different supplement books for D&D and other TTRPGs. They have the Wandering Tavern and they have the Scorch Basin Kickstarter, which is due to start soon. If you check out their website in the description below and use the code Roll Together at checkout, if you decide to purchase anything, you can get 10% off your purchase, and it will also tell you what stage their Kickstarters are currently at. Massive thank you to the D20 Club, Dice Heads, and other tiers on Patreon. They are fantastic, they are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom for, as we've established now, a variety of different reasons by following all of the links below. Speaking of the links below, if you do like this video, please do leave a like on the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment down below. It helps the algorithm tell us what you like so we know what to make more of for you. And with all of that, I think I'm going to hand it over to the others. Have fun.
We begin in the realm of the unknown, the land of nod and a bit of a cliche. In the deep of the dark and stormy night, the sounds of torrential rain and crashing thunder almost mask the persistent baying of hounds. Shadows whisper secrets. The moon is barely visible and the world for each of you slips into a realm where fears take flight. Nat, I don't want to know anything about your character yet, but tell me, what is their nightmare?
Their nightmare? Stalking through the jungle, chasing after a figure that she knows is her brother, who is lost, and trying to catch him. And the caws of birds and the rumbles of distant somethings slowly turn into the crack of rifle fire and the sound of screams. But possibly worse than real life because she never experienced it, so she doesn't know what it actually was. Yeah.
Shaun, same question.
So he's working on a machine, on a car or a vehicle of some sort, when the chock holding it in place gives way and it rolls slowly and pins him down. And although there are people around, they are all running forward, surging. There's the sounds of gunfire, and the mud becomes slick and he starts to sink. As much as he screams, no one hears because everybody's involved in their own personal fight at this moment, and eventually he is enveloped in the ground.
Thank you. Evey.
So my character is in a burning house, it's getting hotter and hotter. The walls are turning to char around her. And she tries to run forward because there's screams in the next room. But every time she runs forward, she seems to stay in exactly the same place. As this goes on for seemingly hours on end, her self-awareness kind of comes to herself and she realizes, I'm in an oil painting. I'm trapped inside of a painting, and it kind of zooms out to Celia, also named Celia, by the way, also watching the painting and flicking a lighter.
Thank you. And finally, Tom.
It's a recurring nightmare, not dissimilar to some of the ones we've just heard. There's mud and there's fire and men screaming and choking on their own blood as yellow gas, covers the area, and he is running as best as he can, carrying a young man on his back. And then it's not a young man, it's a younger woman who's also choking on her own blood. And he feels as the bullet goes over his shoulder and takes him or her off, and he turns back to find them, but it's bodies and it's arms, and they're reaching up for him and screaming, and there is animals dying, and especially the baying of a horse as it lies on its side and screams and screams and screams, but no one cares.
Thank you. You rest in these for a moment, these night terrors. These are ones that you have had many a night, for some more often than others. They are terrifying visages that haunt your dreams, to be sure, but ones that you have become used to in a way. These are nightmares grounded in memory or logical fear or thought. However, for each of you, your nightmare shifts away to a realm where reality bends and twists, enhancing the fear that you feel, the strangeness of your experience. A distant echo of laughter, sinister and cold, heralds the descent into a labyrinth of dread. From the depths of the earth, a grotesque form arises, and a mass of writhing tendrils emerge, enveloping you within it. A cacophony of voices, a symphony of pleas echoing through time fill your ears. Your senses become numb as the brood closes in to feast and to flay. Blood seeps into the earth, a sacrifice to the dark, and yet from this, birth is granted anew. What's left of your forms begins to warp and twist, your bones cracking and realigning, your ragged voices becoming a chorus of alien cries. Your minds filled with naught but the need to rest, repair, and then feed, becoming part of the nightmare forevermore. As you scrabble towards wakefulness, your minds still teeter on the brink of madness from the horrors witnessed. Your eyes accidentally gazed into the abyss, and you have been granted visions of truth no mortal was meant to know. So can everyone please roll me a sanity check?
Oh, no.
That's
Great.
How does
With
one do that,
enthusiasm.
Celia?
You go to your character sheet and you click San. We're rolling, it's a D100 system, so the success is at or below the number that's on your character sheet. Hard success is then rolling max half of that, and then an extreme success is rolling like a max fifth.
I got a 93, so that's a failure.
I think that's an extreme failure.
Because the horrors.
The horrors. So rolling our sanity, we've got, ooh. Alex, so can you tell us our numbers? So, if you...
I was trying to roll below my
You
sanity.
want to roll below, so this will introduce us to our luck system, where you can spend luck points to get these the level of success that you want. Now, these can't be regained back, but you only failed by 4 points, so you could spend 4 points of luck to achieve a success.
Yes, I rolled an 84 and I needed 80, which was my sanity. So yes, I will spend 4 luck. Apparently, I accidentally rolled with luck and failed again. Good. I will spend 4 luck. Lovely. Thank you.
Fantastic. So that will get you to 61. Fantastic. Fantastic. So we have then, can you tell me if you achieved a success, hard success? Okay, so who got a success? 3 successes, were any of those hard or extreme success?
Regular.
Regular schmegler.
Killer.
No. Okay, Shaun, yours is a hard success. It says it on the character on the.
Oh, really? It just says
No
regular.
reg smeg here.
It's a regular roll. You're not rolling with advantage or disadvantage, but it's a hard success. That means that you did pretty well with that one. And then we have one failure. So that means the only person who's getting our consequences is Monty.
It's lovely to get out of the house, isn't it?
So I'm going to roll you. Right, that's a lucky one. You only get 1 point of sanity loss
Marvellous.
on that, though. I think you are so used to your own. And because it's only 1, it's fewer than 5, and you don't need to make me an intelligence roll.
Brilliant.
No less. So only 1 point of sanity. How do you justify? Yeah. How? Actually, no.
I could tell you how I justify why. Is that what you want to know? Why I'm feeling?
Because that's an intelligence thing. I mean, this is me making it up as the screen cut out. Okay. Hey. Yeah,
I just
so
had a
1 point.
I just had a little bit of a
sanity.
wobble. That's all.
It's a
You know.
bit of a wobble.
Yes, 1920s. Everything's fine.
I hate this. Anyway. So all of that. Fantastic. So 3 successes and only 1 point of sanity lost on the other failure. A worse nightmare than usual, but the nights you were having were not great to start off with.
I'm surprised I didn't take more of a bit of a tumble on that one. The horse is new. That's a new addition. That's something for me to think about in my downtime.
We begin with a new dawn. You all awaken from your visions, nightmares, you know not what, but are glad to be free of them. Sunsbury, a town cradled by the wild moors, is a riot of colour and joy as it prepares for the local spring festival upon this day of Bell. The day is bright, the sun is warm, the sky is fresh after those storms, belying the heavy weather of the night before and the darkness of your nights. But you all recover as best as you can in order to prepare for the day. Each of you are here for your own reasons, whether those be by design or by chance, and have your own plans of things that you need to do today. As you awaken, though, something sets your teeth on edge, although you know not what. You're probably just hungry this early in the morning. Anyway, let's get started properly, shall we? So, Shaun and Tom, we're going to start with you guys. Currently, both of you are at the breakfast table at the farmhouse where you are both staying. So I would like to know, who are your characters? How long have you been here? And what are you doing this morning?
Hello?
Please do.
So I am Adam Roach. He's. Do you want a bit of a description of who he is as well? Okay. He's 29. He's from sort of Birmingham area, but he's down. He's been down for about 2 months visiting a friend who lives on a farm. In theory, to do a job. to help the grandparents with running the farm, but I think has been a little bit slow compared to city life that he's been used to. So in terms of what he's going to be doing today, looking for something to fix up, but probably very little.
Marvellous. So sat across from him eating, I assume we're having eggs at this time of year, but Montague Rhodes, folklorist, writer, and slightly failed academic, but I'm not letting that stop me. 41 years young. Was heading back to London, but managed to miss the last train and rather had to get a horse and cart into this little place. And I've slept in worse places. I only brought a couple of changes of shirts, so I probably need to go sort that out. It was a rather dusty cart. Leaning against my chair is a rather fine mahogany walking stick due to a slight injury in my left leg, thanks to the war. Yes, I think my plan is to hopefully see if I can get another kind farmer to get me back to whatever the nearest station was. I didn't really get that information last night. It was very wet and very dusty. And then, of course, I've had a bad night's sleep, so I'm not in the best mood. I'm sure if Adam wants a conversation, I can give it to him, but I'm not in the most chatty mood, no.
Do you want to go look around to see if you can find anybody, either of you?
I mean, who did we make the breakfast?
No, so this is the household of Farmer Fields, who brought you here last night, and his wife, and their grandson, Tommy Evans, who you know very well, Adam, through this. So far, Montague, you would have only met Farmer Fields. Adam, you have spent some time in their road and know their routines pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'd probably look up for, you said Tommy Evans, did you?
Tommy Evans.
Tommy, yeah, I'd probably look for Tommy. But yeah, I'm not necessarily in any rush, just kind of idly swirling the scrambled eggs around the plate.
Could you roll me any kind of search check?
I would love to do that. That is definitely a thing. That's
okay. Give you advantage because, again, you've been here for a while. You know the routines where people go.
Right.
We use, I think, probably spot hidden, unless you have another one that you think you are better at and is more applicable.
So a lot more skills that I'm used to having. I think spot hidden is probably going to be my. It's probably a bit early in the day to be trying to argue for any of my better skills. So yeah, I'll just go for the spot hidden.
Okay, I think roll it again because I am giving you advantage.
Ooh.
Again, you've been here for a while. You know their routines.
Unfortunately, I have failed on both counts significantly. Yeah. Maybe where they would normally be at this time of day, they've gone off piste maybe. So I'm just struggling to find him.
Fine. So not necessarily in the town room itself. Normally he would be at this breakfast table with you. So you've not seen any indication that he's already had breakfast or started his day. You can't see any signs of him being here or not. So that in itself might be a little bit strange.
Right. Well, I think Adam's probably, if people would talk to him, he probably would talk to them, but he's probably used to people coming and going, and coming into the town because they can't miss the last train and then leaving pretty swiftly. So I think would only probably initiate a conversation with Monty if he was stuck here for another couple of days. At this point, unless Monty said something to him, he's literally just he's kind of doing that thing where he can't be bothered to use the knife and the fork, so he's like trying to use the edge of the fork to cut his toast up.
Monty is good. Well. Monty has good etiquette and is doing his best not to get his elbows on the table or to spill. But I think again he's not inhospitable. He had greeted when he came down. But if we're just not talking, that's okay then. Yeah.
Another character who just grunts at each other.
Well, quite. I think actually, as time has passed now, I might have gone, so what exactly is it that you do here, Mr. Roach?
Oh, well, I'm just down here because I was looking for work, and it's just a little bit difficult up in Birmingham, so I'm just trying out fixing up tractors instead.
It's fine work if you can get it. I'm completely useless at that sort of thing, but yes, I'm more of a holds up his quite soft hands. Never been one much good at fixing a faulty radiator or anything of the like. But no, to be honest with you, I'm more of a city chap, really. I know the countryside's good for one's lungs, but it's all a bit too much green for me.
Well, yeah, I'm more about the city as well, but no, I was more based in the factories.
Ah, right, yes.
And we'll kind of do the same thing. Shows his hands, but his are definitely kind of coarser, rougher. Like he's got kind of skin that's kind of torn where he's just been working with his fingers literally to the bone almost. Do you drive a car?
Oh, no, unfortunately. I mean, it's sort of all... I feel it might be it's a bit too newfangled for me, all these machines. But do you have your own vehicle?
Well, I've been tinkering, but it's not really finished. It's taking what spare parts I could, but
marvelous! Something of your own design then, rather an Edison then.
Well, I mean, I'm putting it together. I'm just using the parts that I've got.
Marvelous! It's always good to have something to keep the mind busy when you're not fixing tractors. Quite. Yes. I don't mean to be particularly. Norm, do you know where the farmer might be? As you may be aware, I came in rather late last night, and I've got a train to catch to get back to London.
This time of day, they would have already had their breakfast, and then they'd be off in the fields. I'd have said.
Ah, yes, the early riser of the worker. Yes, Monty got up closer to like 8 o'clock, and he's like, "That's still quite early." Oh, right. Then I probably should go find them. See if I can. What's the town here? Sort of like what's it like? What's the
Somebody.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Again, as I said, I didn't really get to see much of it last night due to the pouring rain. If you look at his jacket, he's still very slightly damp, having slept in his travelling clothes, and then just been like, yes.
Are you around for a little bit then?
Oh, gosh.
You were around.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing better.
Kind of, you see, so like, that's the thing. The sort of thing I write about, it's usually about, the folklore of the area, the elves, the ghosts, the ghouls, sort of the reason you don't go by the river is because there's a drowned child. Any sort of, I know you're not local, but have you heard any interesting stories like that?
GM, have I heard any interesting stories like that?
Roll me. Roll me listen.
Oh.
Have you been paying attention to people talking about things?
My listen skill is actually quite high. My listen skill is 70, and I rolled a 69.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So you wouldn't necessarily know of any of the particular details, but you have overheard people talking about local legends of, wisps in the moors, people of, people being stolen away, of things deep in the rivers. This is a very out of the way place. That's a lot of these little towns have these old legends and myths, folklore, but again, those are some of the things that come to memory most. And a particular fondness, I think, for this festival, this day. A lot of, though that one you don't, people have not been talking to you about it. It has come up.
Oh, well, this the usual thing about, like, ghosts in the moors and people going missing, and like, I think someone said that someone was dragged into a river, but I don't really know any of the the details of it, but they've got their own little legends.
It's a will-o'-the-wisp sort of thing. Interesting.
Sure.
Yes. No, maybe I need to go. I sink a couple of pints at the pub and see if I can get an old chap to.
Oh, if we're drinking, I'm definitely in.
Oh, well. I mean, if it looks out, it's like, well, if you've got nothing else this evening, I'd happily have a couple of drinks with you, of course. Yes.
All right. Great. Well, let's get going. We'll
now.
Shovel his breakfast down.
Oh, gracious. Okay. Yes, of course, Mr. Roach. Of course.
I just call me Adam. It's fine.
Yes. Monty. You can call me Monty.
Nice to meet you.
Handshake. Yeah. I guess we're going to pub.
As you leave the farmhouse, you make your way past the fields. You know that, the fields, as they are, the farmers, are at work. One of the machines, though, seems to be behaving slightly erratically.
Do you mind, Mr. Rhodes? I might just have to go and have a look at that.
By all means. Would you? Do you? I can stay, or I can go ahead. Or actually, I'd be quite interested to see what it involves. Is it all right if I tail after you? Taps the stick. I'm a bit slower than the average man, but I'll be interesting, and maybe I can talk to this Fields chap.
Yeah, all right.
Marvellous.
Yeah, we'll approach the vehicle.
So this is where I have done a lot of research, but then I'm aware that I don't know much about how farm machines work.
Machines.
But it's something to do with sewing. I grew up in the West Country. I know stuff. It's a sewing machine.
It's a sewing machine.
Sewing machine.
The singer.
Yeah.
with an O. Sewing with an O. Something with an O. Springtime relevant machine, it doesn't matter.
That says that on the side.
Celia, did you not read the first rule of leading any game is you have to be 100% knowledgeable about every topic? This is
Absolutely.
outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
I tried.
We'll be like, but where was this machine made?
Whomst patented it?
The problem is that it's not D&D, and so I can't just make it up and then that is how it works.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
There is an awesome
It's a sewing machine.
It's a sewing machine.
Yeah, it's spreading the seed. That's great. Yeah.
Don't say it like that, please.
Oh, a sewing machine is a real thing. I'm not stupid.
No one's called you stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not stupid to myself. You're fine. A piece of equipment whose purpose is to sow crops, otherwise known as a seeder.
It's a seeder, yes, for spreading one seed. Yes, absolutely.
Shut up. You're not helping.
Oh no, I've fallen down.
Take a sanity point.
Take 10.
Naughty jail.
Oh, no.
Can you go to the sewing machine?
I will.
Have someone buy it.
Yeah, I will happily go up to the sewing machine. I'm kind of going at half my normal pace, but also half a little bit slow, but also not as slow as Monty, because I don't want to be like...
Again, Monty's not taking it personally. He's like, I'm the one who's decided to walk across a wet field. And he's like, oh, bloody... You just hear quiet like, oh, bloody hell. Oh dear. Oh, she's going to be so mad at me. He slowly sinks into the mud.
So it's like you've left a car in... It's still going, but left it in neutral or like really low in pH. So it's kind of vaguely rolling.
Idling?
Yeah, rolling down the hill, but in its slightly off direction. It's kind of idle, but it should be fully stopped. It's just slightly slowly drifting down. And you know that it should be either like much faster because someone is actively using it, or not doing anything at all.
Is it going... so I'm guessing nobody's in there at all.
Not that you can see.
Is it going slow enough that I could kind of run and hop into the driver's seat to kind of get it in gear?
You can certainly try.
I would love to.
Yeah.
What's this going to be? Here was me hoping to jump straight in with my mechanical repair.
Give me any kind. If that jump, give me a jump for flavor,
Oh dear.
and then go into any mechanical roll.
My jump was a 38 versus my skill of 20.
Oh dear.
So I'm just going to say it's a little bit difficult because it's just moving just at a speed where you can't get it into easily. The grass is extremely muddy from the rains last night, so you're slipping a bit. It's just less graceful and easy than you would have liked.
Once I'm in the seat, can I do a drive auto?
Absolutely.
Apparently my drive auto is redonkulous. Yeah, 56 versus
Ooh.
90.
Fantastic. So yeah, you're able to get in. I'm actually going to give you 2 points of injury.
Oh,
Oh,
crumbs.
that's not a prize.
No, that's just from the poor jump. But you are able to very easily, successfully just turn it off. You know where the keys are kept. It's actually right there. Easy to switch it off.
Okay. But yeah, I slightly nicked myself as I was leaping into the seat. Boo.
You're right, old man.
Yeah, no, I was just not. It was going a bit faster than I thought it was, but we're all right.
Marvellous. I'm glad they're not going to lose that machine then. Montague's like standing not quite the opposite end of the field, but at good distance, being like, I don't trust this thing.
I mean, I will kind of drive it closer to Monty, so that it's more like, he doesn't have to shout at me from across the field, especially with the engine going.
It's a fine piece of machinery. What exactly is it for?
It's for sowing seeds. You put your grain in there, and then you kind of crinkles it and it sprays it.
Marvellous. Yes, I'm afraid my knowledge of such things is very much sort of medieval peasants throwing it as they walk along, rather biblical. But no, it's a lovely... do you think
want
it's...
to ride?
Oh.
Do you want to ride? Is room in the back?
I mean, sort of, what an adventure. Very ungainly, try and climb onto the back of this sewing machine.
I will stop and I will try and give a hand as well.
Great. Yeah, no. Holding the stick. Ah, right, yes. So, farm work. Marvellous. Again, keeps looking around. It's like, do you think it rather escaped? Do you think that... Oh, I do hope the farmer's all right. He hasn't fallen and landed in a creek or anything.
Perhaps the will of the wisp got him.
Well, you know. But yes, no, that's... what do we do now? Do we... Is it a day's work, or we probably should go find the farmer, make sure no one's harmed.
Yeah, we can do up and down in the fields. I mean, you know, not got anywhere to run to, so.
Well, right. Lead on, Macduff.
I guess I'll kind of try and be using the sewing machine as we're going and search fields.
Could you give me either a track, a nature, or a spot hidden? And that's for both of you.
Mm-hmm. Not track. And not natural world.
I'll go for natural world. It's still a failure.
Hey!
No.
Extreme success.
Just a failure again. 84 over 40.
This is, again, very much not your field.
Well,
Or your field.
It's the fields' field.
Thank you, Keeper. Much appreciated. No boo card for you.
You're not allowed to boo me. I'm stressed already. But yeah, you are here. You're having hard enough time just trying to be used to the concept of farms and outside. And none of this is how it's supposed to be working. There should be someone here, so you are keeping an active eye out. You see on the ground what looks like the signs of a scuffle and something being dragged away. Tracks disappearing into the squelch of the mud. And with an extreme success, I will say that you also see the glint of a necklace or an amulet that you have seen before around the neck of your dear friend.
Oh, it's Tommy's necklace.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just going to stick the brakes on. I will hop down. I'll get the necklace.
A necklace. What sort of? Again, looking around, I do hope the old fellow's all right. It's just there's not bears anymore. I know that much, but all sorts of things.
There was bears until he said it.
Well, again, hopefully not. But I rather think they did drive the bears out here many years ago. But
well, it looks like there was a bit of a fight, and it looks like someone's been dragged off that way. Do you see?
So again, sort of leaning. Yeah, no, yes, rather a tussle, it seems.
See how the mud's not all tilled the same way as the rest.
Again, he leans in and then just goes, yes. No, absolutely no idea, but likes you and wants you to think that he's paying attention. Oh, gracious. I don't want to be rather a wet blanket, but do you think we should go get some help? Or, I mean, the police? Or maybe not the police, but maybe someone else, another farmhand, perhaps?
It's probably a good idea.
Right, glad I thought of it. I'm not gonna lie to you, Adam. I had a bit of a bad night, and I'm feeling rather jittery at the moment. Wasn't quite expecting this, but yes, no, let's again, sort of like as we're looking at, this is just a tilled. It's not like and then into the woods or anything, is it?
Am I right in thinking the farm's on the edge of the river?
The farm is surrounded by the edge on three sides by moorland, forest, and river. The moors beyond that extend as far as the eye can see and even further.
Ah, the moors. Yes. Well, that's rather a different matter from my understanding. There's all sorts of, as you said, the stories, there's all sorts of things. People have a nasty habit of disappearing out there, as you say. Yes, maybe.
Don't worry. People around here, they've got their honour. They'll help out. It's the Morse code.
Quite right, old chap. Quite right. It's like coughing fit, not a giggling.
Can you roll me an occult check as you're staring at this necklace that Adam has always jokingly hid beneath his shirt? It was a gift from his mother. She said never to take it off.
I got a 61 over 55, so close, but no cigar.
You can use your luck to lower it.
I will use my luck to lower it. So what's that? That's 6 points to get it. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you wanted me to roll, but I did jokingly because I saw my skill was 5, but I rolled a 4.
he's part of it
again.
I will take both of those.
Yeah.
I will give you different answers depending on things. Because again, so if you want to spend 6 luck to go and make that a success,
I do.
Fantastic. So as I was saying, and I may have slightly preempted this, Shaun. This was a gift from Tommy's mother. Tommy did not grow up in this village. Tommy grew up in Wales.
Oh.
And he always was a little bit shy and embarrassed about this necklace, saying, his mum always said to keep it on him. It would keep him protected. And this. Monty, you see the sign of the hexafoil upon this necklace. A sigil that is commonly found around the United Kingdom on churches, barns, private buildings, cross slabs, as an ancient Celtic symbol of protection.
Oh.
I'm putting that all into your journal so you can all see.
Thank you.
So we're actually going to go pan from this scene over to the household of Widow Wooster and her daughter Peggy, where Nat and Evie's characters have been staying. So I'd like to ask you two, you've been waiting so patiently. Okay, who are your characters? How have you come here? Who are your characters? How have you come here? What are you doing this morning?
And we are in a similar situation, sort of breakfast table.
At the breakfast is ending. Widow Wooster keeps a very strict control over the breakfast table, which you can think about how you react to that, but she is very much, this is a household where the unaccompanied women of good repute might stay. There's going to be, she's got, quiet, polite. She has just left. So it is now just you two and Peggy at the end of this breakfast. Peggy's tidying everything away.
Very good. So how old is Widow Wooster and how old is Peggy, by the way?
I think Widow Wooster, it's hard to tell a specific age. No.
But ballpark, like, is she like 40s or is she like 60s plus?
60 plus.
Okay.
But she moves with a spriness.
Sure.
I have been calling her the Dowager in my head.
Oh.
Of course.
Have we found the Eldritch Horror and she's the widow?
It's her.
It's her.
Game over, done.
I mean, at this stage, if you want to assume that everything you meet is an Eldritch Horror, I'm not going to tell you no.
Yeah.
I think the machine was definitely an Eldritch Horror.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
on your own head if you do something to an innocent individual.
Innocent.
Innocent.
Where's her husband?
What does she do? Why is she a widow? How old is Peggy?
Peggy would be about 25.
Great, sure.
Yeah.
So I guess sitting at the breakfast table, finishing the tea slightly begrudgingly. She's definitely more of a coffee person, but you gotta do what you can. You gotta be polite and accept what's offered. Would not be wearing her hat right this moment at the breakfast table because that would be impolite. Is Gracie Miller, who would be dressed in sort of loose linen-y shirt and sort of tan slacks with some sturdy boots that have definitely seen mud and rough and tumble, but have been kept very clean for Widow Wooster. And she would be sat at the table, finishing off her tea, but poring over an old notebook. So Gracie has been here a couple of weeks, we've established, and during that time, wonderful keeper would probably have been making inquiries about town. About names. So in that time, would anyone have had any suggestions or leads or places that I might have been looking?
Ask you to roll me any kind of social skill.
Oh, it will definitely be charm. That is a hard success.
So, some of the locals have been reticent in talking to you, but Peggy, who's been trying to go and get you to join the festivities, she's very excited about there's someone new, has been talking to you very much about this town. So you know that there have been, people come and go all of the time. They do have records in the town hall, but, it's difficult to get in and see them, even for a local, but especially as an outsider. But that's where things would be. But it's also where they get, at the front stage of it, that's where they get all of, the journals of people, current events, any of the fashion magazines. And, sometimes people who come and visit go and bring new newspapers or articles or things with them. There's also sign-ins for people who might be visiting the church or, and of course the purchase records at the shops.
Certainly. Okay, so I guess with the knowledge the town hall is probably the place to start. I imagine before now, Gracie would have already been to the town hall, but if you suggest that it's a little tricky to get in, then maybe she's already tried, and they've been like, we don't, no, couldn't possibly, in that very small town way. And yeah, so she's probably been biding her time trying to figure out if there's a better person to talk to get an in with, or hey, maybe this festival is a good time when all the town is going to be distracted. But right now, right this second, she is enjoying her tea and checking her journal.
Oh, I'm in the scene.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just enjoying it.
I should lean into the camera. I'm like, and I am also here.
Hey.
I should. Sorry, Gracie is late 30s. Should have said.
Cool. Across from Gracie, also at the table, is a woman about 30 with short bobbed hair, some red lipstick, wearing white shirt, light green trousers held up with braces. On the chair behind her is a dark green peacoat that has pockets stuffed with a couple of books in them. And she has a big suitcase next to her that contains her telegraphone. That's how it's a weird word. We don't use it today, so I tripped over. She currently has a notebook in front of her, with a list of names. And these are the names of the people she would like to interview in the town. She's currently there to have some audio recordings of interviews with townsfolk about supernatural or paranormal happenings in the town, especially centering around this festival. Has been here a couple of days now, so has gotten a few names, I imagine, of people to go and talk to and record? Question mark?
Yes.
Cool. And she's got the notebook and it's in front of her with a pencil, but she's also reading another book that she's occasionally underlining things from, notably by Montague Rhodes, occasionally just tutting at it slightly.
Could you roll me again your own any kind of social thing so I can tell you how many names you may have been able to pick up?
Again, definitely charm. I got 14, which
Nice.
is... Well, my charm is 70.
Yeah.
So it's a very good
Definitely a
success.
hard success.
Yeah,
That's
at
perfect.
least a
Extreme
hard,
success.
possibly. I'll call it at least a hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing math like that.
I won't. You can't make me.
So in terms of then people to interview, you know that there'll be the roosters themselves, once you got in, the dowager who has been here for a while, but possibly less likely to talk about rumors. But Peggy might be someone more willing to spill the beans about what she's heard from her grandmother. The local priest, Father Lightburn. Through this, you know that you have seen one of the new farmhands, one of the farmhands yesterday, who seemed quite charming. And of course, also then Mrs. Reeve of the townhouse where the records are kept.
Excellent. So I've got this list and I'm hoping just to go down it as I go. I feel like I've got Peggy booked in somewhere, but she might be busy this morning because adventure might call us. But I've got her on the list.
I have a question, Talia. We've spoken before about Gracie's brother and grandfather, but we've not set anything specific in terms of time of year. Would the disappearance of either of them have correlated with this festival?
Yes.
Oh.
Both of them?
You're not sure about your brother.
Mm.
Your grandfather, not quite this time of year, but close enough.
And sorry, how long has Celia been here?
2-3 days?
Sure. So we would have spoken beforehand. Absolutely. Like we're charming enough people. We wouldn't have ignored each other.
Yeah, we're two incredibly charming women.
So I think, finishing her tea and sort of flicking through a couple of pages of the notebook. Miss Hardwald,
Yes,
I don't
Gracie.
suppose. What is it you've found so far in terms of disappearances related to this festival? Do you think that they may be connected?
Have I found anything so far about the disappearances related to the festival?
Roll me a listen.
Ooh.
Listen.
Listen.
Okay, so, my listen is 30, and I got 29.
No. I would say again, you've heard a couple of people mention folk rumors about people leaving suddenly. Not necessarily anything hard, but yeah, you wouldn't want to say anything that's untrue. But I would say that together you might be willing to posit a working theory that you could at least try and disprove.
Okay. So, there have been a few disappearances, but we can't really say anything for certain quite yet. It's quite mysterious. It's quite exciting. But I am going to go and speak to one Mrs. Reeves at the records office a little bit later today. If you have a special interest in disappearances in this town around this festival, I'm sure I would not mind for you to come and sit in on the recording.
Well, I would be delighted to join you. I don't suppose you've come across any references to an archaeologist by the name of George Miller?
Oh, that is very specific. Have I come across Miller at all?
Give me library use.
I'm good at this one.
Library use with advantage.
It always comes in handy with advantage. Excellent. That's not good. That's better 9.
Oh, that has to be extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 60 in library use.
Look, I don't know how the math works. It's a fifth. What's a
Sounds
fifth of
good.
60?
I mean, a fifth of 50 is 10, so a fifth of 60 would be higher than that.
But less than 60. It's in a sliding scale.
Oh, I'm calling it extreme because I say so. Yes. So, I mean, you've definitely heard of this. Is in the field. It's why I think both of you are incredibly charming, but also, like, Gracie's family name is someone that you want to interview, and so you kind of politely and professionally latched on there. And so things that he's done, and that his story did seem to end in tragedy with a mysterious disappearance.
I kind of dramatically flip through my notebook, mumbling Miller, Miller, as if I can't quite remember. I do. I say, oh, yes, I came across Miller in a disappearance. And a relation of yours, by any chance?
My grandfather.
Excellent. I mean, I'm very sorry for your loss, of course. One of the disappearances I'm looking into, actually, would you be willing to tell your side of the story of what you and the family know? Obviously, we're going to look into this further and try and uncover what people have said, what might have happened. But it'd be lovely to get your insight as well.
Well, I can do you one further. If you're willing to help me try and track down any clues or evidence as to his disappearance, I'll let you, and she slides the notebook across the table, have a read of the last journals we have of his.
Tries to keep it cool. Kind of, I think that sounds like a most agreeable deal. This is going to be an excellent radio broadcast, and kind of has a little look at the journals.
He was quite thorough. He was researching quite a lot of barrows around the country, and the last one he visited, or was intending to visit, was round here. Now, obviously this diary doesn't go as far as here, but well, it's all his research so far, and how they linked, and notes about why he was interested in coming to Sunsbury in the first place.
Fascinating, but why was he investigating burrows?
That's his job, archaeologist.
Oh, of course. But what was so interesting specifically about these burrows?
Folklore.
But nothing.
The intrigue of the past. I suppose I should clarify, I do not sound it. My family is English by heritage. My father was born here. Not in this town, precisely, but...
Okay. I'm still a little lost on the burrows.
Oh, they're burial mounds. Burial sites?
Oh, of course. Yes, of course.
Sites of significance, artifacts.
Flips through the Montague Roads book and finds a little section where, Tom, what would it say?
When it comes to a barrow, it's the most interesting thing. A burial ground often used. Some claim that a barrow is a portal to the dead, especially on the night which we now know as Halloween, that the dead walk. It gets very sort of like textual and like, here's this example. But yes, it just witters off for a little bit. And there's just like a little sketch of like quite a nice sketch of like a knight rising up from a mound and then like a man with a lantern going, saints preserve me. But yeah, so it's, Haunted Hill. Underlined.
I do just say, that's why I didn't ring a bell. Sorry, this paragraph, it doesn't have any line spacing and the sentences seem to go on for like 50 words at a time.
It does seem to have very strange scansion. I don't think I came across Rhodes when I was studying.
Oh, he's not a serious author by any means. His later works are much more interesting than his earlier stuff. But, it's good for foundational work. It's good for a nice little light book you can carry on the go.
Fairy tales.
Yes, indeed.
Literally, yeah. The later books get more salacious when I get a second author. It's like, no, but tell us what happened when the Fae took the night. I'm like, well, I don't think anyone needs to know about that. She's like, needs a little bit of kissing, dear. All right, if you say so.
Talia, would there be anything in my grandfather's journals about why he was heading here specifically?
So I think in his early journals, but his notes were, again, looking at kind of like the hidden villages, the ones that seem to, be less up to date with the modern Victorian sensibilities, etc., etc., that might still hold on to some unknown knowledge of our glorious and interesting barbaric past. That it's a little bit couched in the language of the time, which is, weird barbaric past that might tell us a bit more about our true Christian origins, etc. It's a bit, but it's done in a way that I would say that's just how he was taught to write about things. It's very well-meaning. There's no judgment or meanness in it. And that he is truly interested in finding these kind of backwater villages, these out-of-the-way places, these, that have their own cultural traditions. He's just very interested in them. And so he's known that, based on some of the various calendars that have happened throughout the history of the UK, he's going and finding places that might be having something to do. So he's been to places for Midsummer, he's been to places for, Samhain. He's come down here for Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I think ultimately grandfather was looking for the stories that don't get written about very often. The ones that don't get written at all. Oral stories, folk tales, folk tradition.
I'm going to stop you there for a moment. Latches the telegraphone. Yes, checking my notepad, saying something right. Starts hooking up. Say that all again.
Oh, right, okay. And she will. I don't know if there's anywhere particular you want us to go with this, Talia, but we can, there is conversation. Gracie is quite happy to talk about everything she knows and is quite enthusiastic about it and gets quite nerdy about certain details as well.
Very much encouraged while the microphone is in front of you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have a question to Celia. So after that you've had this mini re-interview, essentially, would you be listening to the audio again?
Yes. I would. Just kind of making sure that it's all recording and picking up our voices. Still working on the correct accent to, be picked up on radio correctly. But yeah, just checking it through.
Can you roll me listen, Ben? Actually, both of you.
Ooh! My D100s loves me. It's very sweet. I got a 7.
Oh.
Jeez. I failed. 36 over 20.
So that, you know a little bit about this type of tech, but not enough about this particular machine to know what you should be listening for. So, Celia, you hear the repetition of this conversation, but you hear underneath a level of sound that shouldn't be there. The sound of slow drums and of things kind of being dragged in, like vines in the mud.
I seem to be hearing something very specific in this recording. Can you hear that, Gracie?
I'm not really sure what I'm listening for. Is it a fault of the machine?
Potentially, maybe a fly got near the microphone. I'll have a look.
Celia, can you roll
It's
me a
not done
sanity
this before.
check? Celia, can you roll me a sanity check?
Yep, there again.
Here we go.
Oh, there's the 71, but luckily my sanity is 80.
Huh. Fantastic. Okay, yeah. Logically just thinking it's figuring it out. It's on the edge of something, though.
Definitely unsettling.
I suppose there might be someone around the town you could get to poke it if it's not, if you're not sure.
That's true. I did kind of practice with the old electrical repairs, so I would be sorted. But I've got to say, if I don't know what I'm looking for, it's a little bit like a needle in a haystack. It's quite new technology, but maybe someone will know something.
It's very impressive.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. It's going to be the next big thing.
I'm excited to see. Shall we to the town hall?
Yes, absolutely. Pulls on welly boots, jacket stuffed with books, and little, not bucket hat. You know, the little rounded ones.
Cute.
I think as you leave them, I think it's at this point where you are going to run into Monty and Adam rushing into town, trying to find someone to talk to something about.
I think probably because I know how fast Montague's walking, I probably would have suggested taking the sewing machine. So I would have pulled the. I'm assuming it's got some sort of big old pipe that's sprayed. So kind of pulling that in and has just been driving along. Maybe kind of just despite himself, just started just nattering away about engines, but unfortunately because he's facing away from you and the sound of the motor, you wouldn't have heard a jot of it.
Yes, quite.
That's why we've introduced the 15 horsepower model.
Oh, well, quite. Right, tree, be careful. Yes, right. Chaffinch. Delightful. Yes?
Gracie, are you also seeing an exceedingly posh man aboard a sewing machine?
Yes,
Riding
I am.
side saddle.
I'm not entirely sure. I think, was that Mr. Roach? I didn't know he drove the tractors around here.
I would have seen Gracie around, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Would have done
I'll
a tip of the hat.
I say, terribly sorry. Yes, you, young lady in the hat. You don't happen to be one of the farmers, are you?
A farmer? No, hardly, sir.
No.
Are you in a spot of bother?
Well, a little bit. It seems we were staying up at the Fields farm, and it seems one of their farm hands seems to have come rather a cropper. Seems to have gone missing. We were wondering if anyone had seen him, or perhaps could get us in touch with the local constabulary.
Okay, very serious. One moment. Gets open the thing. Say that again, please.
Staying at the field. He's like, okay, I think I've heard of this. Staying at the Fields farm, a local man goes missing and leaves behind mysterious item. Looks at Adam like, haha, rather like in a novel, eh?
It's my friend Tommy. Gracie, you met us at the market the other day.
Oh, yes, certainly. He's gone missing. Well, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Where was he last seen?
In the top field, I believe. Seems to have left this device of his behind, and looks like there might have been a bit of a scuffle, perhaps.
Oh.
The device in question appears to be a sewing machine, a common machine used upon farms in rural England.
I think, Miss Odwald, they may be referring to the amulet. that
Oh.
Mr. Roach is holding?
Not unlike, yes, he might have been the pilot of this bizarre vehicle. But Adam here has been doing a marvellous job and has not crashed us in any trees on our way to find help.
Might I suggest you dismount for the village, though? I don't think it's built for a machine of this size.
Well, I was going to park it on the side of the road, but you're probably right.
I can run ahead and fetch help. Who was it you were looking for, Mr. Roach?
It's, to be honest, it wasn't really my idea. I don't know if the mayor's around or would there be a mayor?
I'll see who I can rustle up at the bar. Inn.
Has put away the recording devices now, by the way. Like, only kept it out for a respectable amount of time.
Sure. We'll sort of start jogging off towards the tavern and seeing if there's anyone about.
Oh, she's rather energetic, isn't she? Look at her go.
She just gets her cardio in.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds marvellous.
Celia Oddwell, journalist.
Oh, Montague Rhodes, folklorist.
Montague takes out book. Montague Rhodes.
Oh, a fan.
Yes, would you sign my book? It's terribly good.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Reaches into his coat, gets out a fountain pen. Celia, to Celia, stay curious. Montague Rhodes. There you go.
Nice and brief.
Well, sort of. I'm glad to have come across someone who seems to be enjoying the stranger things in life, the folklore and such.
Yes, that's my entire journalistic project. But I'm sorry, I'm neglecting you, Mr. Roach. Was it?
Adam. Sorry. Yes.
Adam, charming to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm just a mechanic.
He's a fascinating chap once you get to know him. All sorts of exciting stories.
I actually have a small problem with my device. There was a slight recording error. Maybe if we have some time, once we have got some people on the ground to look for your friend, you could take a quick look at it if you'd be so kind.
If it's anything like a radio, I might be able to help.
It is like a radio, so you're the man. You're the man for the job.
Oh, good to be needed.
Talia, do I find anyone to round up?
So if you go into the pub, there will be a few people there. The publican, couple, people who have treated you, but with some distant respect for that. They don't want to be too close. You're a charming young woman, and they have wives.
I'm a little brash as well.
All of this. It's pretty early. Pretty empty this early in the morning. But you go in. There's people getting started. Is there anything you say or try and do?
Good morning, everyone. I don't suppose anyone has seen. Oh, sorry. Do we know Tom's surname?
Evans. Tommy Evans.
Evans. Good morning, everyone. I don't suppose anyone has seen Mr. Evans lately, have they? He seems to have gone missing from the Fields Field.
Could you roll me an appropriate social skill?
Mm-hmm.
Charm. Success. Ooh.
I'm sorry, miss. I haven't seen him at all recently. He may have disappeared. People tend to go into town to go pick things up.
You seem remarkably casual about that. This is a valued member of the farming team. Do you not have concern over his whereabouts, given the history of the town?
He's a grown man. He's probably just gone into town.
How long would you usually give it before declaring someone missing?
It takes a few days to get there and back. If you're doing it at speed, if you're going at speed, a couple of days. Yeah.
Would he not have wanted to stay in town for the festival?
I mean, he's new anyway. His grandparents.
Newer.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying about his grandparents.
I mean, that's the fields. Those grandparents.
Oh.
He's been
Have you seen them at all?
I mean, I sure saw him. I saw more yesterday.
They don't seem to be about either. Any idea where they might be, if they're not in their own fields, where they might be preparing for the festival?
I mean, it's early yet. I would gone on a walk, gone to church. Do you have any skills in psychology?
Not really, no. I have a 10 in psychology and a 1 in psychoanalysis. I could try.
We got.
I have a book by Mr. Freud if you want to up that skill.
It's mostly about cocaine, but it's rather good.
We got a 4 out of 5 on a skill check before earlier, so we can spell psychology.
Give it a whirl. Oh, it's a 15 and a 10. Do I? Oh, go on. It's a one shot. I'm going to spend 5 luck to succeed that.
He's keeping something from you, and everyone else in this race has seems to have disappeared and gone silent. He is giving you answers. You rolled a very successful charm, so he's not, but he is keeping something.
Who is this person that I'm talking to?
The publican, his name is George.
Do we have a surname? And I don't mean to be mean to you, Talia, to force you to come up with surnames on the spot. It's just like Gracie is very much
That's fine. I gave names
an honorific in surname.
Most of my people, except for the publican.
Just George.
Mr. George.
Mr. George.
Mr. George.
George Georgeson.
George Smith.
Sure.
Solid.
Well, you've been very kind, Mr. Smith, in reassuring me of Mr. Oh gosh darn it, Mr. Evans' safety. Might you let me know if you catch me about town, if you do see him and he seems to turn up?
Yes, will do. If you want to talk to people, either Mrs. Reeve or Father Lightburn are like the people who keep,
Oh, well, we were just on our way to speak to Mrs. Reeves this morning, so that's convenient. I suppose I'll also swing by the church on the way. Have an excellent day, sir.
You too, miss.
And we'll just sort of eye everyone else in the pub, just to see if any of them give me anything.
Stop.
Okay, so she turns to go, but I would like to clock everyone else in the pub before it. Like, are they giving me anything at all?
Nothing. Absolute. They had been polite and kind and interested in your company before. It is now as you are a complete stranger in someone else's space.
Well, good day to you all as well. We'll sort of trot back over to the group.
Yeah, the sound
No.
of it starts when you close the door. You hear them start again, like they've been keeping quiet just for you.
Well, I've never been that rude before. Well, unfortunately, everyone, no sign of Mr. Evans in the pub. They also seem to think he might have popped into the next town over, might be a couple of days.
Oh.
But suggested we could go and speak to Mrs. Reeves. Perhaps we were on our way there anyway. Oh, my apologies. I know, Mr. Roach and Ms. Odwald. Gracie Miller, pleasure to meet you.
Montague Rhodes. Pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Miller.
Oh, Mr. Rhodes.
Oh, amazing. 2 readers in one day. Well,
Oh, hardly a reader,
well.
but I have heard of you.
Well, you and the rest of London, I'm afraid. I'm delighted. Celia here has actually read. Most people have. I'm rather a. I was about to say bedside companion, but that's a bit brash. A lot of people have bought the book, but very few have actually read it. Some find it rather stodgy, but I'm glad to find someone who seems to enjoy my prose.
Oh, don't put your own work down, Mr. Rhodes. I'm sure it's delightful.
I'm biased. My wife had a lot of notes when I first met her, and that was indeed how I met her. She came up to me and rather said, "I disagree with a lot," and yes, she's actually my co-writer. I don't know if Miss Oldworld, you've been
explains a lot.
Oh, but not credited.
Oh, actually, it's M and M Rhodes. She's Mary. Actually, an American like yourself.
Oh,
Yes.
is that so?
Yes, New York City. Never been
Really?
myself, but I've heard it's quite the swinging place, especially at the moment. Lots of very fancy parties. Not quite my scene. I apologise. I'm not quite used to talking to people
Mr.
this
Rhodes.
much. Yes,
A man is missing.
exactly. We should go find this associate of yours. Please,
I'd be
lead
interested
on.
to know in the future a little more about Mary. Perhaps we've crossed paths.
Well,
We'll sort of toddle towards.
Quite. Again, like the camera's panning on it, where he's looking at you a bit like very similar vibes to his wife, who was always like, "Marvelous, shut up." We just.
And that's where we're going to end. The 4 of you together on this bright, sunshiny, still slightly damp morning. Both aware of something that's gone slightly off in Sunsbury and trying to find where the heck Tommy's gone.
Thank you for watching, everybody. If you like what you've seen, we do D&D content on Mondays over on our Twitch channel, and we do other games on other days of the week. Depending on the week, we do different things. Join our Discord and follow us on the socials to be kept up to date with all of the different things that we are doing. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters. Massive thank you to our players for taking part in this game. And also a massive thank you to the D20 Club and Dice Heads on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them for as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom for a variety of different reasons, by following all of the links in the description below. Speaking of the description below, please do consider leaving a like on the video, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and commenting down below, because it helps the algorithm tell us what you like, so we know what to make more of for you. Join us next month where we'll see the continuation of this story, but until then, see you next time.